And action. This is Michael and that's Jake. We got a very special episode for you here today. We're working with top movies in categories all time
hmm
for the both of us. So first, to run down this list of categories that we're going to get through here today. First, we're going to have sci-fi. That can include, we said it can include Marvel and Star Wars, correct?
Yeah, it's like a fantasy sci-fi category. Yeah.
Fantasy sci-fi. It's going to cover a lot of ground there. We have drama, just basic drama. Comedy is next. Documentary. That should be an interesting one.
Mhm.
See what corners we dive into and we're not enjoying film. Our guilty pleasure, which will also be very interesting. And nostalgia, take us back in time. And then we're gonna finish it with our all-time favorite. This is just Jake's episode today. I'm here to facilitate him. So with that, I'm gonna
It's
throw it
all
over to
about
you.
me.
When's it not? When is it
Yeah,
not, Jake?
obviously. Main character.
But sci-fi, over to you. If you have any honorable mentions, throw those out as well.
Oh, I
But let's see
will.
what you got.
I had a tough time with a lot of these categories because I mean, as someone who enjoys a lot of different movies, a lot of different variety of movies, it's hard to pick from your favorites. It's like having a bunch of different kids and trying to figure out which one's your favorite. But ultimately, I didn't go Lord of the Rings, and I know you thought that I was. I think it's the best made option that I had, but I went with the Harry Potter series on this one. And I went down fantasy and only because it is the most rewatchable series that there is for me. Like I watch it once a year at this point, and it's just so good. I mean, you look at the cast of these movies and it's just incredible. The writing is incredible. It's fun, it's lighthearted, but it also has dark undertones and serious themes. And I know you hate it, and I knew that coming in, but name a British actor that we love. They are probably in these movies, and that's something that you can't overlook. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, for sure. To our audience, probably not as much, but to you, a well-known Harry Potter hater over
Big
here.
time.
Um, Had you over to my house, in preparation to work at Michigan International Speedway the night before we turn on what's the first one called?
I I think it was Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, it's the first one, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Um, just couldn't get into it. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. That's my two dark spots, just things
yeah.
I could not get into. But I do love what you said about and any English actor, like they're in it, and apparently they do a really good job. I'm gonna have to take
It's
your word
incredible.
for it, but yeah,
It's actually incredible how many people are in this movie. And like we don't have that much time to go into it, but if we ever had an episode on these movies, we could talk all day about the cast and all the rabbit holes. So we'll just leave it at that.
yeah. Well, the beauty of this podcast is it goes on forever and ever. Eventually, that could be like we could do a Dark Corners episode of like things I haven't watched, things you haven't watched. So
Yeah.
maybe, unfortunately, that could be in our future. Over to drama now. This could cover uh
So,
a lot of different movies.
yeah, drama was honestly one of the easier categories for me because I got to put one of my like top two or three movies in here. And I'm going with The Social Network.
Ooh,
Uh, Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, how do you get better than Fincher and Sorkin to get working together on a film? Like those two guys are always dynamo, and together it comes together in a 2 hour um drama. Like I
it's
guess
so
it's
tight. It's so tight.
historical drama at this point, but every single second of this movie is calculated. Every single word in the script is just I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. If you haven't seen it, you should. It'll change your view on any movie that you see after it because honestly, I think it appeals to the younger generation of attention span because it's always going, going, going. But it's going, 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 but it doesn't feel too overpaced. The pace is amazing. The cast is unreal. If you got Justin Timberlake acting as good as he does in this movie, you know you're doing something right as a director. And so for that, it's unreal. You have two Army Hammers.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go.
I'm gonna leave my
We're gonna leave it
comments
at
in with
that.
that one.
Andrew Garfield, unreal in this movie.
So good.
That and cleanup. And then Jesse Eisenberg is just a great lead. I mean, this is the role of a lifetime for him. He gets to play exactly who he was meant to play. And I think he tries to chase that in every role that he has after this. But this is just the perfect culmination of all these people. And yeah, I had two honorable mentions for this category. The Town and Moneyball were the only ones that
Ooh.
I was really considering, but I never really did consider those because this movie is just so tight, so
Mhm.
well done, story, script, everything. So yeah,
Yeah, it's the perfect combination of screenwriter director because you have the snappiness of Sorkin, whether
yeah,
you're a fan of things like West Wing or anything else that he's done, A Few Good Men. It's just so snappy, so to the point. Everything is thought out and deliberate. And then you have the direction of Fincher, where he's famous for going over every single frame over and over again, fixating on like this thing in the background shouldn't even be here. Like
yeah.
forgetting everything else, thinking about this tiny little corner in the background. It's just the perfect combo. The opening is beautiful.
Oh my
It's
gosh. They
it's
make an Ivy League school look fun, and I think that is something that needs to be commended because I don't think they are.
yeah. Um well, probably not. Probably a lot more studying than we did. Uh
Yeah.
but yeah, Eisenberg with Zuckerberg, he's him. Like
Hmm.
it's hard to see Zuckerberg now, like if he's in front of Congress or at a UFC fight or something. It's hard not to see Jesse Eisenberg.
And that is like that's also something this movie has taken on a whole new light since was released. It was released in 2010, and that was before a lot of things came out about like Facebook and just social media as a whole. And so the character that he plays has evolved whether they liked it or not.
Hmm.
And it's almost like a horror movie at this point. It's like, what are these kids doing? Like what they are changing the fabric of our society with on a night that they're drunk at 3 a.m. Because he's met his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that is just, I don't know. It's a testament to this movie that it holds up even after everything around it has changed.
Another movie as a history person that kind of plays fast and loose with some of the facts that happened, but it's better for that. And I'm
Mhm.
someone who, likes historical accuracy in movies and loves like YouTube pages that cover things like that. Like, what are the differences? I teach a class that's based on history versus Hollywood. Like,
I like that.
did this really happen? Does this portray it realistically? Like, is this what happened? But Social Network is one of those where they get most of the facts right, but there are some that, aren't what really happened, but the story and the movie is better because of that.
Yeah, 100%. Just
Yeah.
a fantastic film all around.
Any other comments on the Social Network?
No, I think we can move on to comedy now, right?
Yep, on to comedy. I'm curious
So
where you're going to go with this one.
this was the hardest category. By
Hmm.
far, this was the hardest category. Because there's so many. And I love a laugh. I love a good laugh. And I didn't know if I wanted to go down like a Will Ferrell kind of Step Brothers, Talladega Nights type movie.
Hmm.
I didn't know if I wanted to go a classic like Caddyshack, or like a Ben Stiller Dodgeball, Tropic Thunder. But ultimately I landed on something that I think changed the course of comedies in general. And we're gonna go with The Hangover. This is a
Great.
movie that
Great pick. Great pick.
this is a movie that it hits every time, and I think that's what made did it for me because some I like just not in the mood for. I am always I don't think I'm there's a mood that I won't laugh to The Hangover, and it spawned a series. I mean the subsequent films aren't as good, um, but still there's that content that you can go to after, and I think that just speaks volumes to what this film did. Not at the table, Carlos is a good inside joke. That is just will forever be in my vocabulary now. Um, just I mean, and the boundaries that this movie pushes right before boundaries probably couldn't be pushed anymore. Um, it just itches that spot in my brain that it needs to. So I just I love it. I love this movie, and the cast is amazing. Bradley Cooper is amazing. Um, it's just fantastic. I don't know if you have anything to say about it other than it's just fantastic.
Well, I'm glad that this is the avenue that you took because I'm not a fan of like the super bads and the
Okay, I didn't even. Wow,
didn't even think of that one.
wow.
Or
Yeah.
like or like Step Brothers is not an itch that I get like to borrow your phrase. Like I'm just not into raunchy like old school just doesn't it just another Todd Phillips film, but just doesn't really just do it for me. But The
Yeah,
Hangover does for whatever reason.
it's
I'm even
amazing.
a fan of two and three,
Yeah,
which
I mean
are
they're good.
obviously
They're good.
not,
Don't get me wrong.
but
I don't know, like Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Zach Galifianakis. That the trio of that, they're all so different, and I think it's just everybody knows guys that fit those molds,
oh
and
yeah.
I think that's what does it. Um, the guy who plays Doug will come up. By the way, he's I think the only actor on this my entire list that comes up twice. Just a little foreshadowing.
I have a feeling where you're gonna go then. That's the guy who gets lost, right? The guy who's getting
Yeah,
married.
yeah,
Okay, we
yeah.
won't spoil it, but
Justin
um
Bartha is his name.
okay.
But yeah, he's fantastic, even in the little screen time that he has. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he doesn't have a bigger career. I'd be
Yeah,
interested to dive into that.
going from what I'm assuming you're gonna pick later, knowing him from that, and then seeing him in this after I've seen that movie so many times, and then seeing him, I'm like, man, I feel like I should have
Yeah,
seen his
exactly.
face more. And then it's like, oh, he's not in 90% of the movie. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Like he
but
disappears for literally the
the
entire plot of this
whole
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Um, and Bradley Cooper's just so great.
hmm
I love that they show as a teacher at the beginning.
I know.
Um,
And the
just
whole time he's, oh, the wife and kids, I hate my life. And then at the end, he's like the best husband and dad. And it's just
yeah,
like, that is so classic of just guys being dudes, like shooting the shit. Um, just that kind of guy. And then the supporting cast in this film.
so good.
I mean, they have Mike Tyson. Ken Jeong comes out throwing heaters. He's the closer throwing 105.
Well, and this is his big break, right? Like
Yeah. I
he
mean,
doesn't have much before this.
Rob Riggle with the taser. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in the face. And he's in the movie for 2 minutes, and it's just so memorable. Brian Callen is in this movie. I mean, there's so many doing a weird accent, by the way. I don't even know if that was supposed to be like Lebanese or um
I don't even know that name. I'm not sure who you're talking about.
he's on Joe Rogan's podcast all the time now. He was
Oh,
on How I Met Your Mother. He's like that guy. He's
okay.
that guy for sure.
Clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, just everything. Everything from the dad saying what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And that's just like part of the culture now. And it's, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'd
It's,
love to know like the lifespan of that saying. Like, is that
yeah.
like I'm sure it's probably a saying before, but
But this definitely breathed new life into it.
yeah.
And
And you get
I think it gave life to Vegas as a whole. I think it
yeah,
kind of changed the way trips to Vegas was viewed because, I mean, obviously it makes it look a lot more fun than I think it would be.
yeah.
Um,
It's like the new age swingers, right? The Favreau
yes.
movie with Doug Liman. It's but obviously much more funny. Like I couldn't even make it through Swingers. It didn't quite hold my attention. But like it creates a new age of like going to Vegas looks fun. And I've
Yeah,
never been, but it looks fun.
it
But
does.
you probably actually get there and it turns into more of a hangover night than what you're expecting. But you get like Galifianakis in there too. One of my
Just hitting home
underrated.
runs the whole movie is hitting home runs.
Oh, he's perfect. And I love Between Two Ferns.
So
Like
good.
it's and he's not doing that character, but he's channeling that energy for the entire
It's the
movie.
same vibe. It's the same vibe. He was born to play this character. He's born
Oh
to
yeah.
play Alan. Um, everything about it is just there's nothing bad I can say about this movie. There's
No,
not a point in it where I fall asleep or want to leave or go to the bathroom
no.
because like every scene has those moments where it's quotable, memorable. And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why it won my best comedy. So
Hmm.
it did its job.
All right. From going from comedy to like, juvenile humor to favorite doc.
Yeah.
Are we gonna really switch gears here?
Uh it's not a crazy switch up.
Okay.
My other pick would have been I was gonna go with America, the Story of Us, and I feel like as a history teacher you would really appreciate this. And I think if we did this pod like 10 years ago, it would have won for me. I was
Yeah.
obsessed with it from the ages of like 13 to 16. I watched it so much. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that.
Mhm.
Um, but great American history doc. However, I went with a 30 for 30. And I went with 4 Days in October. I don't know if you've
Oh,
ever seen it.
yes.
But it's about the Red Sox comeback against the Yankees. And this, and had to be the pick because I've seen it seriously like 20 times, and everything about it is awesome. It doesn't get boring. I know exactly what's going to happen, and still I could watch it and it entertains me.
Every
Big
time.
Poppy. I mean, everything about it. It's our guy Bill Simmons is
Our
in there.
our guy. Yep.
Our guy Bill Simmons. He's actually the inspiration for this podcast, honestly. If
Oh
we're
yeah.
going to be completely real about it, he's the inspiration for this, and that might have been the first time like I knew who he was because I was young when I first saw this documentary, and it has everything. They're funny in it. It's guys being guys. It's a baseball culture which we are both very accustomed to. It's historical, which I love. It's about baseball. It's a great documentary. It's not too long. Um, yeah, very well put together. There's a new one about the same time period, about the
Mhm.
same series that just came out on Netflix. Wasn't as good, didn't do it for me. And I think it was because it was too long and they tried to do too much. This one is perfect. It's right there. It's in the slot that keeps your attention the whole time. Um, and yeah, it's a great story as well.
Yeah, this is it kind of dives into my childhood a little bit too. I remember I the same as you. It's funny we haven't talked about this at all. This is another documentary that I've seen over and over and over again. And actually just watched about however many months ago that Netflix doc came out. I saw that came out, watched an episode, and then flipped back to the 30 for 30 just to kind of compare. I ended up finishing the Netflix one, which I agree was not it,
It
it
was
was
still
too
good.
it was too drawn out. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
there's
It was
only
good, but I
there's
mean, it
only
was a
four
lot of,
days.
oh my gosh. And 4 days is like not that long.
No,
And with the 4 days in October, I love the behind the scenes stuff, and that makes it for me.
yeah.
They had one of their players had a like camcorder or something during that series and was filming everything behind the scenes, and just the look behind the curtain is always fun for me.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
gets better with each passing year too, because you have, I think it's Kevin Millar has the camcorder,
love
and
him.
or he's at least prominent in the
He's
camcorder
in it.
footage.
Don't let the Sox win this game. Then we got
That
Petey,
clip,
shill game 6, anything, game 7, anything can happen.
I've said that so many times. If I'm talking about any kind of series, the Pistons recently,
Don't let us win
uh,
this game.
trying to get to Game 7, I just go to my family.
Yeah,
Anything can happen, Game 7.
game 7,
Anything can
anything can
happen.
happen. Don't let the Sox get hot.
But you see Kevin Millar in like I don't know how much MLB Network you watched growing up, but
Yeah,
he's
he's in
a
it.
staple of intentional talk.
Quick pitch,
And it's
ready?
like, oh wait, he was a player. Oh, he was on one of the he
Yeah.
draws the walk that gets, oh my goodness, like that's and then
Oh, and
Dave
Dave
Roberts,
Roberts sighting? Dave Roberts sighting?
like I can't
Manager of the
stand him
best team in
now.
baseball?
Yeah, I can't stand him now, but he's one of
Yeah,
the
but he's fast and he knows how to steal bases. So
it's the moment. That's also like one of the coolest things, just like not really inside baseball, but everyone knows Roberts is going.
everyone.
Mariano knows he's going. Literally
Espada knows he's going.
all 50,000 in Fenway know he's running. Like we know this is going to happen. And this is
Hmm.
before pitch clock. This is you can have as long of a hold as you want. You can throw over as many
Throw
times as
over as many times.
and yet he still finds a way to steal that base down
Mhm.
3-0,
It's
down
unreal.
a run.
With the
Like
world watching him. The
and,
world. This
and
is the
Derek
peak. This is peak baseball too in America. Everybody's watching this series. And listen, the three guys that he has to beat, Mariano Rivera is on the mound. Jorge Posada is behind the plate, and Jeter
Derek
is
Jeter.
catching that ball and putting a tag on him. And Dave Roberts coming off the bench in the biggest moment of his life gets the job done. That is like the biggest underdog story, beating Darth Vader in that moment. And that is just
That group of three
incredible.
is probably you could probably put that up as one of the best how would you phrase this?
Just
Caught stealing
like
tandem.
steal defense, like that's unreal. It's not it's
Rivera's so quick to the plate. It's probably going to
mm,
be a cutter at 98. Posada, one of the best throwdown guys in the game, and then the captain putting tag down, and
And
he still beats it.
the most clutch baseball player of all time, Derek Jeter. I'll go to war for him, by the way.
Oh, he's great. Another good documentary series, The
Yep.
Captain.
Yep.
Phenomenal. But yeah, you have Bill Simmons just drinking a beer, talking with some guy. I don't probably some just
Better,
random.
better. When he says that, when he tells the
Hey,
story about his dad, he's like, "Hey, is that an Altoid can I have?" When he goes, "It's heart medicine. It's heart pills."
just popping them like Altoids.
Yeah,
Have you seen any of Celtic City?
I have not. No,
Okay, that's a new Boston Bill Simmons led documentary series. It's
I'll have
I've
to
seen
check
an
that.
episode and it's very good. They were doing
I'll
it
have to
week by
check that
week,
one.
so I'm waiting to catch up.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, great choice on that doc.
Thank you. Appreciate
And
it.
a funny story about America, the history of us.
Hmm.
I would shadow teachers, I won't name names, but at Jackson High School, and that was pretty much exclusively the teaching that was happening. So was showing
That's it.
America, the story of us, pretty much.
Okay, that's like a great like go home and watch it, but that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's the stuff that I would go into class with the knowledge already having, and then everybody would be like, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "I'm just really smart."
yeah.
How you know people.
Definitely not a win for the trying to beat the history teachers or only trying to be coaches stereotype. I'll just put it that
Yeah.
way. But
Yeah.
we got to overcome that. Um, anything else on your doc choice?
No, that's it. I think we touched everything on that. That was good.
Man, I haven't even thought about 30 for 30 for mine. That's
Yeah.
gonna make that choice a lot harder next
It
week.
does. It does. It makes brings a lot of them in there. You got the you got all of those.
So great. Catholics versus convicts. Whew,
Yep.
hitting close to home. Your guilty pleasure.
Okay, so I told you that his name's Justin Bartha. I told you he was going to come back, and he is here. It's National Treasure, and I don't know if this is what you thought I was going to go with.
I thought you were gonna
After I
go with
said that.
that in the nostalgia pick.
Yeah, I mean, my nostalgia isn't a guilty pleasure because it's a phenomenal movie. I think this is
Gotcha.
a guilty pleasure because it's like it's goofy. I mean, the concept is ridiculous. It's a Nicolas Cage film. I mean, but it's again like one of the most fun movies I've ever seen and will ever watch. And this will be a rewatchable for the rest of my life. I mean, this is my Nick Cage movie, and I know my dad will probably cringe at that, but this is what I know him as. Um, it was probably my first introduction to Sean Bean,
Yes,
Ned Stark from Game of Thrones, which R.I.P. He dies in everything.
he does. It's not a spoiler. If he's in it,
No,
he's gonna die.
yeah, I mean he has to die. He's amazing in it. He's the villain in this, which is kind of weird.
Hmm.
He's also in Lord of the Rings. Also dies.
Yes,
I don't know if you even know that.
I did know that.
Phenomenal. But yeah, this movie is just fun. That's the only way I can describe it is fun. And the second one is fun. The second one is almost as good as the first one, which is really rare for a movie like this.
Yeah,
Um, where obviously I don't think they thought a second one would come. But somehow they find a story. He kidnaps the president, which is like
right.
incredible. You go from taking the Declaration to literally kidnapping the president. Which what a turnaround. I mean, it has love interest, it has comedy, it has action. And then again, history. I feel like a lot of my picks have history woven within them.
The best.
Um, yeah, and I was gonna say honorable mention for this. I almost put a musical. I almost put Hamilton as my guilty
Mm.
pleasure. I I love that, but we don't have to dive into that. But yeah, do you have anything to add about National Treasure?
I always add to my classes. I just actually talked about Alexander Hamilton last week. I can't stand the musical. I can't get behind
What?
it. Couple of great songs, I will say, but I've tried.
Whoa.
I know it's I can't, and that's I'm not even like trying to have a hot take. I love musicals.
The hot take. I
I've
hate
seen
musicals and I love it.
I've been a part of like six musicals. I've seen two on Broadway. I just can't get into Hamilton. I don't know what it is. But to
Seriously, that surprises me so much.
yeah, I just can't do it. Okay,
That's like
maybe
actually
it'll come with time, maybe. But
legitimately my like it's the off-brand Spotify rap, my Apple Music like recap.
mhm.
Hamilton, that album was legitimately a top three album for me last year.
Hmm. I'm
Um,
just now learning this. That's a surprise.
yeah, and I don't even
Uh,
like musicals.
right. Um, but to National Treasure, the ultimate guys being dudes history, like
It's just so
just
fun.
it's so great. Like
So fun. They're just running around.
he makes history so cool.
Yeah. And
So
I'm
cool.
just looking back on this, I'm like, yeah, no wonder I love history, or no wonder I was a little history nerd when I was in middle school and high school. Like all of these things are lining up and like just pointing me in the direction of this stuff is cool. This is what you should care about. And it does. It changed who I was. I mean,
The openings of both movies are
oh,
incredible.
the
They're so
soundtrack,
good.
the
Oh,
music is just I could have made that my walk-up song for college baseball. Like that's how good it was. Um,
just setting the table for both movies. Like you get the lore of like the Masons and the Martin family, how great they are. And then in
yeah.
the second one you get kind of the fallout of the assassination of Lincoln
Mm.
and how that's going to affect
Which is wild. But
Benjamin.
they went there. They had the stones to go there.
It's tough.
I mean,
Some would
Benjamin Gates. What a name. That's a strong American name.
it's so good. It's so good. What is his name? Benjamin Franklin Gates.
Benjamin Franklin Gates is his name. But yeah,
So
we're
great.
supposed to believe that his dad doesn't care about this stuff.
Right. And
The
John
dad is one of
Voight,
the best. The
so
dad is one of
good.
the best characters in the movie.
Oh yeah.
When he comes in and like sees that they have the declaration and he kind of has like that mini aneurysm about, oh, no, 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 that's the declaration. It's just
So great.
he's
And
amazing.
Diane
John
Kruger's
Voight.
great in this.
Diane, yeah.
Uh, the love interest and
Hmm.
from Inglorious Bastards.
She's
This
hot.
is, I think, I
She's
think this
good.
is, if I'm not mistaken, National Treasure is '04
Oh, four, yeah.
and Bastards is in '07, I believe. So this is kind of like a an audition for that, even though it's two
Sets her
different
up for it.
parts, but it's another historical drama, whether it's
I mean,
fictional or
she had to
not.
be a female lead for a movie. I mean, that's
Right.
pretty good. Something
Uh,
that was really successful.
Great pick. That's such a
Yeah.
great pick. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
have to move on to nostalgia.
Yeah. So I was between two here. I was almost picked The Sandlot just because of how
Mm,
much I watched it when I was a kid. But this movie, I could literally quote the entire final speech from this movie when I was 3 years old. That's a fact. You can ask my parents about this. And we're going with Miracle. Miracle
oh,
on Ice.
oh, great pick.
I'm throwing fastballs here.
Yes, you are.
I'm doing good. But yeah, Kurt Russell was the perfect pick for Herb Brooks. Uh,
No one else could do it. There's no
this
way.
movie made me want to play hockey. It, um, yeah, just everything about it. It's competitive. Again, big theme for my movies are guys being guys.
Hmm.
Just a group of guys being friends and coming together for one common goal. Also America, also history, also Herb Brooks, Kurt Russell, great speech. Um, I loved OC when I was growing up. I wanted to be
Hmm.
him so bad. Not so fun fact about him though, the RIP to the actor that played him. He, yeah, actually, what was his name? What was his name?
O'Callahan,
Yeah,
his name in real life.
yeah.
I'll get that look.
I was trying to find it. I couldn't,
Let's
but
see.
he actually served in our armed forces after he quit acting and then he was killed overseas, I think.
Michael Mantenuto.
Yeah, he hasn't been
Mm,
yeah, really sad actually. But he was great in this. And I love that I think the thing that makes this movie work is the acting by the players on the ice. Because if the hockey isn't believable, then none of it is believable. And I think that the choice that they went with um, by picking hockey players that they could make act instead of actors to try to make them look like they could play hockey, the best choice they possibly could have made. Because even now, 21 years later now, after this movie was made, the hockey scenes are still incredible. And it's like
so
I don't
good.
even understand how they did this and made it look so well. And it's basically like 1-to-1 of the actual game. If you watch the actual game, like
Yep.
every beat that happens during the final game really happened, and that is pretty cool for me.
Yeah, it's Gavin O'Connor directing. It's one of his first that are more mainstream films. Same guy as Warrior and like No Way Back, The Accountant. Uh, he goes back to Ben Affleck quite a bit, but he knows how to film a sports movie.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely a lot. I sense a theme of just guys being dudes, and this is up with Everybody Wants Some. Like these are probably the top two
Love that movie, by the way. We
of
both
just
love that movie.
yeah, we gotta wait for that to get to streaming so we can
Yeah.
really let it sink in and then do a pod about
And
it.
then do a
But
pod.
uh, uh, guest potter for that week will definitely be Tyler Reed.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, for
that
sure.
he'll love that movie. But just just them out at the bar with the test, drinking a beer. They all hate the coach. It's such a great
Yeah.
trope. Like he knows he's trying to get them to hate him because he knows it'll just bring them together. And my favorite part of that movie, it's a locker room scene, but it's not the locker room scene. I forget who they're playing, but the player's injured. He has like a deep bone
Sweden.
bruise. It's Sweden.
Yeah, he turns
Um,
around, he says, legs a hell of a long way from the heart, you
yep,
candy ass.
Candy.
What'd you
What'd
call
you call
me?
me?
You heard me. I want you
I
to be a hockey player. That just fires me up, man. That makes if that doesn't make you want to be a competitor or a coach or that it does it you're wrong if it doesn't make you do that.
Well, and as a coach, as he walks away and he's talking to his assistant, he just
That'll,
goes, "That'll get him going."
that'll get them
Like,
going.
oh,
And
that's so
then
great.
Kirkpatrick's just like, nice.
I'll clean up. He goes, "I'll
Yeah.
clean up."
Yeah,
I
that's how he
love
said,
that.
I'll clean up. Or when the two assistant coaches are or Doc and the assistant coach are in the car and they're like, no, this I've never seen. I've never seen him make him hate him this much. And he's like, well, maybe if they all hate him, then they won't have time to hate each other. And they're all just like,
It's
oh,
great.
he's a genius, actually.
It's great.
Also, our R.I.P. Herb Brooks. Pretty
Yeah,
sad.
didn't get to see the finished film, but as the movie says,
He lived
he
it.
lived it. It's great.
So another honorable mention though, that I was gonna say for probably a couple categories that just didn't fit,
Hmm.
was Top Gun.
Yeah,
Another movie that I can quote endlessly. These two movies are probably the two that I can quote the most, and just wanted to shout out that movie because it's incredible as well. But we can move on.
yeah. Let's make sure we have enough time for your all-time favorite.
Yeah. Um, and I don't know if this is my all-time favorite. It's in my top three. Um, actually, now that I say that, I have to do two for this.
That's fair. You got six
Um,
minutes to do it.
because I totally forgot to put one. Anyway, the first one that I was going to say was About Time, and we've talked about this on another pod, so we don't really have to go into that because if you're listening and you want to hear about it, you should go listen to our About Time pod. It's our staple. It's our staple movie for this podcast.
I'll link it right below.
Um, yeah, it's both of our like top whatever movies. And then I had Braveheart as well is
Mhm.
another top three for me. Um, yeah, I don't know if you love Braveheart as much as I do, but I just think it's one of the most perfect movies that I've seen.
It's
A little
it's
slow, but like
this was a
that's
movie for me that my dad loved
hmm
and would always be on, but I wasn't quite old enough. I didn't understand what was happening. Maybe I'd catch little bits and pieces. And then this, along with The Patriot, obviously another Mel Gibson classic, I can
Love
remember watching them for the first time with my dad
mm,
and just letting it sink in. And I mean, there's so many in both stories, really, of like deaths that happen really early
yeah,
that throw you off. And it's like, wait, is anybody safe in this
no,
movie?
and they're
Uh,
not.
and it's like, wow, this is really what this is about. Like, this is deep.
hmm
Um, this movie's incredible.
And
It's
you got Mel Gibson in probably his best role. I don't know if that might be a hot take, but I think he's incredible. You got Brendan Gleeson throwing 100. You just there's so many people in this movie that are so good. The Irishman, I don't even know his name. Um, but when he said, "It's my island," that's just like so classic. Or
he's actually also in The Departed and does a phenomenal
oh,
job
and
in The
also I
Departed.
am wrong. I am wrong. He is in Harry Potter, so there are two two-time
Oh.
There's actually there's a bunch of people in here that are in Harry Potter, so there are
Gleason, yeah.
Gleason is as well. So yeah, I was wrong about two-time national champion. But yeah, this movie unreal.
It rocks.
When Robert the Bruce betrays him, I feel it viscerally.
It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Again, so many quotable moments from this movie as well. When I asked the Lord, he said, "I'm fine. Pretty sure you're fucked." Ah! He starts laughing while the
It's
arrows are coming down. Just
it's
so
so good.
crazy.
And
But
like you said, it's slow. That's a part of the charm with it.
yeah,
Like
I
it's
love that it's slow.
and another movie that is in no way, shape, or form historically accurate. Don't
We don't
care.
have to go into that
It's
though.
so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
man. But
his
yeah, that
his
is my list.
yeah.
Um, if I missed something, I'm sorry. Oh, I did want to add another category if that's okay with you.
You got a couple minutes. What you got?
I was gonna do like a movie that is a new movie that I feel like is flying under the radar right
Hmm.
now, and that I want to just implore people to go see if it's still in theaters. It's called Warfare.
How have we not talked about this?
Unreal, by the way.
Oh my
One
goodness.
of the craziest movie theater experiences I've ever had. Um, Not at all what I expected going into it, first of all. The first 45 seconds of that movie is so fun, and then you just go into PTSD simulator,
Oh yeah.
and I like it's so real and raw. Again, a great cast of young actors, um,
10 years from
just
now, we're gonna look at that cast and be like, oh my
it's
gosh.
gonna be like the Black Hawk Down cast, I feel
It
like,
will.
which that again, just another great cast of characters. Um, it's
My
it was
experience with
just
this
so
movie,
fun.
I saw it on opening night on a Thursday, so even before
Oh,
opening night. So the preview day, I was the only one in the theater. I just quickly decided to go after work. I was like, this will be fun. Um, Empty theater. I was the only person in there, and
that's wild.
we have VIP seats at our local theater.
See what I done?
So I moved up. That's like a $10 upgrade for free.
Yeah.
And then that opening hits, and I literally stood up and I looked around, and I was like, I'm in the wrong theater. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then again, we come back to it. Guys being dudes.
And they're just
Just,
all just
oh my gosh.
hey,
That song
hey,
was stuck
hey,
in my head
hey.
for 3 weeks.
I still listen to it in the car. It's not a good
It's
song,
so
but it
good.
just is in
No,
my
it's
head.
not.
It just says calling me a bunch.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, that everything from sound design to acting to the script, I guess. Not that big, not that crazy of a script. It's just literally exactly what happened.
Yep.
Uh,
From
but
the
yeah,
memories of those that lived it, it's
no
such a great
music.
idea. Yep. Beyond that moment, no music. It's
And that I
you're in
think
it.
that adds a lot to it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically minute by minute.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of time cuts, so you feel like you're right there. And they don't try to glorify the experience. They don't try to
Yep.
make it themselves look any better or worse than they were. Um,
Nope. It's just real. And it's
and it
great that
really
way.
it puts into perspective like how this actually affects people because Navy SEALs are like the cream of the crop in our military, right? These are the guys that are trained for it. We expect them to have like almost a robotic like reaction to seeing things like that. And maybe that's just not at all what reality is
They're
outside
human.
of Hollywood. So